breakfast and my coffee. So, you know, we're good to go there. I'm heading to a new river to me, the Russel Fork. I'm going to Kentucky, and I'm meeting up with a group of paddlers that I am familiar with from my club. There's a couple, Ruth and David, who are familiar with the river. They moved south. They moved to Tennessee I can't remember how many years back, but anyways, they are up there staying at the interstate campground, and they organized the trip. So I hopped on it several weeks back and said, yeah, I'll try to make this. And so it's supposed to be a lot of fun. And I've heard that this place is really beautiful, and that you know, it's worth the trip just for the scenery. And I'm ready to really dive in and see it. I'll get to see all kinds of beauty in West Virginia, but I also don't mind going and seeing the beauty of other states as well. So we will see you on the river. Well, here we are at the put-in. See the outflow over there. This is a nice little park. Not very wide, but it's a very tall dam. Look at that. All right. Nice. Hey, here comes Doug. Woo! There comes Dave. All right. There we go. Yeah. Missed the tree. Nice. Okay. There's a small dam here that there is a channel on the right to go through here. This is the first real rapid on the Russel Fork. Oh man. There's Ryan down there videoing us. My goodness, this is beautiful. I love it.
Good, okay, and 4? Yeah, just different.
enjoyed boofing that rock. That rock, I enjoyed boofing that. There's Ryan. Here comes Dave. Here comes Doug.
Fun.
And now we've got, there's David making his way around. Cool. All right. Guess it's time to ferry over. I was thinking about shooting across and ferrying it over that way. Either way, I think it's fine. This might be easier to ferry across. I don't know. Right here? Yeah. All right, I'll do the same thing.
Nice boat.
Pretty similar, right?
That's medium?
Yeah, this is a Shiva.
Oh, it's a Shiva.
So it's the generation just before yours.
Right. Oh God, where's he going?
No, I saw you get stuck, and then I was like, I guess I'm just gonna take another direction. Well, this has been a good, fun day, and we are out of the water, and we are going out this winding road back out. I didn't get the massive cutbacks on the road on this camera, but it was a lot of fun, I'll be honest. And the whole trip was fun. I would camp here and run that multiple times. That's a big deal. Yeah. And it was good times, good people. So really happy about that. This is what I'm talking about right here. cutbacks like this all over this road. There's one. The other side of this road has a lot more dropping down to where we park. Okay, so there's an overlook here and I am going to it. I mean, if I'm here, I may as well come see it, right? Oh, what do we have? Mill Rock Point. Oh, yeah. So I was told that they used to dam this up, this river, and then fill it full of logs, and then they would blow the dam and let the water out, which is kind of crazy. Oh man, you can zip line from there. That's cool. I like that. All right. So this is the gorge. We took out down there. Man, you can see that right there is a main rapid, it looks like. Looks like you possibly could sneak a little bit over there on the right. Calmer water. That's going to be a pretty big hole, it looks like, right there. It's kind of hard to tell from all the way up here. Man, this is beautiful. Awesome. Cool. Great trip. Probably going to bring the family here. Okay, so I'm taking my post paddle meal at the Dairy Cheer. Got a smash burger, fries, and a root beer float. Here we go. That is quality. So, if you're like me and you're coming down 23, you go to the Russel Fork on the way back, you always hit this place. It's some good food. Hey everybody, it's your paddling pastor here, and I hope you enjoyed the video. I really enjoyed my time on the Russel Fork. It was a great trip. As you may have noticed in the video, at the end, I said I would love to come back and bring my family and camp. Like that really, I mean it. It was a good time, and it was a beautiful scenery. Really was beautiful, and I'll definitely put that on the list of places I'd like to visit and make a point of going down there. But as I reflect on this paddle, one of the things that stick out to me is that I'm in this place where I'm really starting to progress, and now I've had a couple of times here recently in the past year, I've progressed, I've done bigger, I've done more difficult, more technical things. I've made a lot of improvements and gains over this past year, but here I am, and this is probably going to be one of the last paddles that I do for 2025. Not that I don't cold water paddle, I do, but who knows? Things are going to be busy between Thanksgiving and Christmas. But this was interesting in that I'll go through all of this, and it's all pretty straightforward, fun rapids, nothing crazy, pretty relaxing, really, most of it. And then I get to this really out of place rapid, 20 stitches, and we get out, we scout it, and we go through talking about like, here's how you need to enter. Here's the like, you got these holes at the bottom. Don't hit that hole. Don't hit that hole. Like, those are pretty nasty. They hold things like, it's not one that you necessarily want to get in. So you try to want to go miss those holes. And then at the top, though, there's a place that's called The Move. And we sat there and we talked about this particular slot. And you might have seen it at the very top. You kind of come in, and I got around, some rocks and some an outcropping of rocks. And then, here I am, I'm lining up. And there's a rock here, and there's water coming over it. Then there's a kind of a little bit of a slot here, but then there's water coming in from river right, and a rock here. And so you've kind of got this kind of setup going on, and the move is to get just to the river right of the first rock and start to get into that slot a little bit. But you can't really hit the slot because most of the time you're going to be wanting to come from the right, but you can't get it to from the right. So you're coming at it, and then you want to kind of almost get your nose up towards the front of the rock coming out that way and just ride that water, and it kind of pushes you down and keeps you straight. And man, I pulled that move off, and I was pumped about it. I was like, oh yeah, I come through that. That's what's going through my head. And I'm going through there, and like, there's the rocks. Here's the the hole on the right there. There's the first one. I'm getting around that and making it through that wave. And all right. And as we were scouting it, after getting past there, it was like, there's another hole down there that you don't want to get in, and so you really want to get river left. And as we were talking about it, and Ruth was really giving me good information. She was. But man, I think because we sat there and talked about it so much, I had so many things going through my mind that I wasn't really paying attention on what I really should have been doing. And so, as you can kind of see, Ryan is in front of me in that green kayak. I believe it was an Indra that he was paddling. And so he's in front of me, and he kind of goes just a little bit right and keeps with the flow. But at the time, I'm not really paying attention to that. I'm thinking, I got to get left. And so I kind of veer off left from him. And there is a rock there that I'm not even really paying attention to. I'm just thinking I need to get left. And I almost make it through between two rocks. And it's really kind of shallow in that area. And my boat just grabs that rock and just turtles over onto its side. And it's so shallow that my knuckles are in the rock bed underneath the water, and my paddle, like, I'm just pushing down, and I'm trying to push myself up. And I feel like I did that a couple of times, even though it may not look like that whenever you watch the video because it happens so quick. So I'm trying to do that, and I don't even pull my skirt. The tail of my boat kind of really gets caught by the water, and it just really kind of pushed it right off of me. And I had like a foot kind of still in there as it was coming off, and I had to kind of get it. And you kind of saw where I kind of had hold of the boat like that with my hand up on it. And I kind of shoved it the rest of the way off. And I was really at the end of the rapid. Like, that last little drop that I kind of went over after I got past those rocks, like, that was really the end of the rapid. And man, I was kind of upset at myself for that. But, it was a great day. Regardless, I will go back. I'll paddle it again. And 20 stitches will not get me. I'm going to get it. But this reminds me a lot spiritually of some things. And so I want to read to you from Matthew 6. I'm going to start reading in verse 19. It says, "Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth where moth and rust destroy, and where thieves break in and steal. But store up for yourselves treasures in heaven where neither moth nor rust destroys, and where
the thieves do not break in or steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. That's a lot of people have heard and remember that story. And so I'm going to keep reading, though. It says, the eye is the lamp of the body, so then your eye is clear. Your whole body will be full of light. But if your eye is bad, your whole body will be full of darkness. If then the light that is in you is darkness, how great is the darkness? No one can serve two masters, for neither he will hate one and love the other, or he will be devoted to one and despise the other. But you cannot serve God and wealth. For this reason I say to you, do not be worried about your life as to what you will eat or what you will drink, nor for your body as to what you will put on. Is not life more than food and the body more than clothing? Look at the birds of the air. They do not sow nor reap nor gather into barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. And are you not worth more than they? And which of you with worrying can add a single cubit to his lifespan? And why are you worried about clothing? Observe how the lilies of the field grow, and they do not toil nor they spin. Yet I say to you that not even Solomon in all of his glory clothed himself even like one of these. But if God so clothes the grass of the field, which is alive today and tomorrow is thrown into the furnace, he will not much more clothe you. You, of little faith, do not worry then, saying, what will we eat, what will we drink, or what will we wear for clothing? For all these things the Gentiles eagerly seek. For your heavenly Father knows that you need all of these things, but seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. So do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. Our treasures need to be stored up in heaven. You know, the things that are eternal, we need to be worried about those things. And when we do that, when we worry about those things that are eternal, that's where our treasures are going to be. And that's where our heart's going to be. That's where our whole life is going to be headed towards. And if that's what's really important, then Jesus is teaching us that all these things in our lives that can really just, overwhelm us and get us thinking about a million different things. Like, he's trying to tell us that your life is going to be complicated by a bunch of stuff. And the world is going to throw a lot of things at you for you to be worried about. And I want you to not worry about those things. I'm going to take care of you. And so he's like, worry about the things that really matter. I'll take care of the other stuff that you need. And then at the end, the key verse that it all comes together, it says, don't worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. Man, you know, as I'm really thinking about that, it reminds me of some advice that was given to a friend of mine, Josh, who's been in a lot of my videos. He got this advice on his first descent down the New River Gorge by a guy named Doug, who was in this video, and I have also paddled with before. And you know, everybody's giving him all this good information about the rapids and what's coming next. And Josh said that Doug just says, well, all that information is good, essentially, and I'm paraphrasing. He says, but you don't get lined up for this first wave coming, and this is what it's going to look like. But man, just after that, just deal with what's in front of you. That's what he said. Just deal with what's in front of you. After that first wave hits, just deal with what's in front of you. Things are going to change. The water's going to change. The way it's coming at you, how your angle and all that is. Just deal with what's in front of you, and then make it to the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and then get through it. And his advice to Josh reminds me so much of this, and how I was just overthinking things that I didn't need to be overthinking. How often we do that in our lives. So I encourage you to not overthink things. try to keep it as simple as possible. Just deal with what's in front of you. In our lives, we can worry about all the ancillary stuff, but God wants us to just deal with what's in front of us. If we deal with what's in front of us, we will make it to our destination. If we just deal with what's in front of us today, we'll make it to tomorrow. And then we'll deal with tomorrow's stuff then, and we'll make it day by day, week by week, year by year, through a lifetime of walking with God. And we'll see everything that He's taken us through. And in the same way, on the river, sometimes we just need to deal with what's in front of us and not be thinking like all the scouting in the world is great. And it gives you great insight and information, and it does inform you. But don't be so dead set on everything that you planned before you get in that boat, because things can change. Deal with what's in front of you. Take it wave by wave, eddy by eddy, drop by drop, till you get through it. If you do that, you'll be better off. If you do that, you'll be paying attention to the way the water is flowing at the moment and not be thinking about what you scouted and what your plan was when you get there. Yes, you will be aware of dangers, and that's the important part. But you just deal with what's in front of you and you'll be okay. And so there's so much similarity between that moment on the water and life, and I just need to deal with what's in front of me. It's overwhelming when I think about all the extra things and changes and stuff that are going on. So that's my encouragement to you. Love you. God bless. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed the devotion. And until next time, keep on paddling.